Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the frying pan. As always, I am Tactical Bacon and I will be your guide for the evening. So, much as we hate to do, much as we hate the fact of it, bad things happen. Accidents happen. People get hurt. So, since we can't change that, we need to be prepared for when it happens. And now, sometimes people being hurt isn't too bad a thing, just a band-aid or some super glue and you're fine. But other times, you've got a major bleed or a punctured lung or something like that, and you don't want to be sitting there trying to cut off a femoral bleed with, with your belt. You want to be properly equipped and properly trained on how to handle situations like that. So, what we're discussing today, I'm reviewing my IFAK. The one that I've got came from Dark Angel Medical. Now, there's a lot of companies out there online that are selling IFAKs. Most of them have the same basic components included in them. Part of the reason why I went with Dark Angel Medicals is they've got their Dark Gen 4, comes with a lot of good stuff, and they've got a great guarantee on it. If you ever use anything in one of their kits to save a life, you just send it back to them. They will replace what you used free of charge and send it back to you. Now, obviously, you have to have documentation. If you play around with your Celox gauze or something like that, they're not going to send you a new one. But if you go out, someone gets shot someone not paying attention at the range and they shoot themselves in the gut or something like that, and you save their life with that, and you can provide documentation, then you're covered. So their Gen 4 kit comes with, the big difference between the Gen 3 and the Gen 4 is the pouch that it comes in. Prices between the two are comparable. The Gen 3 pouch had the pocket for the tourniquet in the front. The Gen 4 has it on the side. And then on the front it has a 2x3 patch of Velcro loop. It comes with a Ranger eye, one small patch, color coordinated to the pack. In my case, I bought the black one, so it came with the dark colored one. Obviously, I've changed it out since then. Shout out to the guys at weaponsgradewaifus.com for all their great morale patches. Anyways, continuing on, it's got a spot on the side for your EMT shears. And then the back, you've got your molly. Now, instead of traditional snaps, they've gone with this. They folded it back over itself, the nylon straps, and stitched it up. And this works great. You don't have to fiddle around with the snaps. You don't have to try to close them, unhook them, anything like that. All you do is run the molly through there, and once you get to the bottom, you just turn it back and run it straight up. Works like a charm. Works 100% of the time, every time. I wondered how well it supported it. I put 30 pounds in my bag and held my bag via the IFAK. Took it like a champ. It's got a strap inside the bag. And so this is for when you've got your components inside the pouch, you don't have to go trying to reach in, dig them out, fight them. You just pull on that strap and it pulls them out on their own. It's kind of like the little string in your smoke detectors. And so what comes with the kit? Oh, and it also comes with these. And what you can use these for is you run the molly through, you put these on there, and you can attach it to your belt. It's a little Velcro straps. So you can do that, and that way you've got it you don't have to have MOLLE. You can attach this to a belt or backpack strap or something like that. Obviously, using the MOLLE is a lot more secure. Next, you've got the tourniquet that comes with it. I want to say that they've got the soft T as an option. I personally prefer the combat application tourniquet, the CAT. This one's the Gen 7, the latest version. Already got it pre-sized for myself. But yeah, this is what I'm familiar with. This is what the Army trains us with. Well, rather, this is what the Army trained me with. Past tense. That's another big thing I want to touch on real quick, is training. Just because you buy this stuff doesn't mean you are ready to handle the situation. You need to know how to use this. You need to be able to apply this effectively. Otherwise, something bad happens. You're trying to put this on your arm and you're panicking and you're going to bleed out. The components inside come sealed in a plastic bag. I broke the seal on mine for this video. It's kind of hard to review what's in a kit without actually seeing inside the kit. It's got a little sticker on there, list everything that's inside there. If you've got yours, I recommend leaving it sealed because it reduces the chance of contamination. And also, once you crack this puppy open, it is extremely annoying to try and get everything put back in here the way it was, and back in the bag, and back in the case. It's a fight. But anyways, the bags come vacuum sealed. It's got a little warning on there. It's got their website on there, which I'm going to put in the description. And it's got an expiration date on there, March 2020. Yes, components in this kit expire. Of course, you can buy the individual components separately. If you've got something in here that expires one time, and you got something else that expires on a different date, then, just replace those things that are expired at the one time, and you don't have to buy a new tourniquet. You don't have to buy a new pouch, all that sort of stuff. So, the first thing in here, it's the most obvious thing. It's what wraps up everything else. It is a vent seal for a chest wound. And so you can see right here, this actually has an expiration date of August 14th, 2017. So even though other components in this kit will expire later, or you need to check the individual expiration dates. So this one says March of 2020 on the outside, but this says that this expires in 2017. I'm not going to go over all the nitty-gritty details of what everything's for and how to use them. There's other videos for that. And really, if you're wondering how to use this stuff, you don't need to be watching a YouTube video. You need to be going out and having a training course, hands-on training. Because when you're in an emergency situation, you're not going to be thinking. You need to be able to do this from muscle memory. You need to already know how to do this when you get into a situation where you have to use this. This is an upgrade over their standard seal that comes with the kit. Comes with one vented, one non-vented seal. Great to have. Next, we've got something that goes with it. It's a 14 gauge chest knee compression needle. You can see it right here, 14 gauge, 3.25 inches long. It's got the instructions. Again, training. You really need to be trained. You need to know what you're doing with this. You can do a lot of harm. You're going to do more harm than good if you don't know what you're doing with one of these. It's optional. It's not included in every kit. You have to mark to have it added to the kit, and you have to claim to them that you are trained and you know how to use a chest decompression needle. It's sealed for sterility. don't break that seal, because that needle, if you ever use it, you're punching a hole in someone's chest with it. You don't need to be carrying contaminants into their lungs. And you can see expiration date on this, November 2020. So in all likelihood, the different components inside the kit are going to have different expiration dates. So I take back what I said about not opening it. Open it, know where everything is, know the expiration dates, have them written down somewhere. That way you don't have to keep taking it in and out. That way you know, hey, this expires in a month. I need to go ahead and order another one. Next up, got yourself a Mylar blanket, a little over 4 feet wide, 7 feet long. Great for if someone's going into shock, then you can use this. Does not expire. And also, if you're in some kind of emergency situation, you're lost in the woods, it's cold outside, it's raining, you're wet, you can use this to help protect yourself. So, you know, not necessarily for if someone's suffering shock or an extreme injury or something like that. We've got a eye shield. And so this goes over the eye. If someone's got something in their eye, you use this. It protects them from reaching up into their eye and fiddling with it or agitating it. Stuff like that. Normally you'll secure this with gauze, wrapping the gauze around their head to secure this in place. Now you've got your Hemostatic Gauze. They offer Celox, Quick Clot, and Military Quick Clot. Quick Clot uses kaolin instead of Celox to do the clotting on it. Needs to stay sealed. And the Military Quick Clot differs from the standard Quick Clot. It's got a metal strip in it that shows up on X-ray. It's for battlefield environments because casualties can change a lot of hands, so you don't want to accidentally leave that gauze inside the wound. Personally, I went with Celox just because, you know, based on my research, it seemed to work better from what I saw online, and I don't need that metal strip. I'm not in a combat environment. There's not gonna be, hopefully, if I'm in a situation where this needs to be used, there's not going to be a lot of communication where something gets lost. That and first response. That and the Celox, the remaining Celox, is actually biodegradable. We've got standard compressed gauze, 4 inches by 4 yards. You know, great for securing that eye shield in place, or let's say someone's got a knife stuck in them, you can use it to secure that knife. Great multi-purpose gauze. You can use it to improvise a sling, stuff like that. 1 pair of Nitrile Gloves. You want to keep your hands clean. You want to keep the junk on your hands when they're not clean out of the wounds. You need a pair of gloves in your first aid kit. Now we've got Israeli dressing, 4 inch, also called a compression bandage. Another great thing to have. This one expires 2023. May 2023. Another different expiration date. This one's made in Israel. These things are great. It's another thing that I trained on when I was in the military. I want to say they also make them in 2 and 6 inch sizes. But these are awesome. And you can actually improvise a tourniquet with these as well because of that compression effect they've got. And lastly, we've got a Npa Nasopharyngeal Airway. Used by date, May 2020. So, big thing is, and you know, this is, you know, up your nose with a rubber hose. Does not come pre-lubricated. So the big thing with all of this is you want to have this, you want to be prepared and have this sort of stuff with you, but at the same time, more important than having it is being trained on how to use it. It's really easy to do a lot of harm with this stuff, but at the same time, it's also easily possible to save a life with it. Some of it's going to have expiration dates, so you need to make sure you're using something that's not, you need to make sure it's not expired. You need to make sure you're using something that's new, clean, sealed. You know, don't go opening up your gauze, your needle, anything like that. That needs to be kept sterile, because easy way to get infection in a wound. With the tourniquet, don't be practicing on yourself with the tourniquet in your first aid kit. They're designed to be applied once and left on there until it's taken off for surgery. That being said, they make trainer tourniquets. If you need to practice, and you need to practice, trust me, you need to practice. They make the trainer tourniquets. They're $30. That's what you want to buy. That's what you want to practice with, not the tourniquet you're carrying around. Keep it out of the sunlight. The windlass is made of polymer. It is susceptible to UV damage. So know what you're working with. Don't get stuff that you don't know how to use. And practice, 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 practice. I'm not saying buy Dark Angel Medical. I'm not saying you have to buy from them. They're a great company. They've got great products. When I bought mine, they had it shipped out to me. It took 3 or 4 days, I think. But make sure you're buying, whoever you buy from, make sure it's a quality company using quality components. It's really easy to, if you're spending $10 on a Gen 7 cat, it's probably a Chinese knockoff. Make sure that you're getting legit stuff. You don't want to skimp out on saving your life or saving someone else's life. Spend that extra money. It will be worth it. You will thank yourself for it. Someone else will thank you for it if you ever need to use it. But anyways, like I said, I'll put a link in the description to Dark Angel's website, where you can buy everything seen here except for this patch, which I'll put a link to that in the description too, just because morale patches are so much fun. Everything there can be bought individually, or you can buy the kit. Personally, I recommend buying the kit and upgrading it as you are. Apply upgrades as you are capable of utilizing them. Don't buy stuff that you don't know how to use just for the sake of having it. You're wasting money and you're putting someone else at risk. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them below. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Make sure to share. A lot of people who are into this sort of stuff, they'll spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on a gun. They'll spend hundreds, thousands of dollars on ammunition. They'll go out shooting regularly, but they won't give any thought to first aid kits. This is something that, everyone should know how to use, and should own. If you ride a bike, really easy to get hurt in a bad way, or if you're in a car wreck. If you're walking down the street and someone hits you with a car, hit someone else with a car. Like I said at the beginning, accidents happen, bad things happen. We can't change it. We can't stop it. But what we can do is be prepared for when those bad things happen. so we can stop and we can help someone. So anyways, I hope everyone has a great evening. And again, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Share it with people. Put those thoughts in their heads about being prepared to try and save a life. Be a good Samaritan. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. I'll be making new content somewhat regularly, and I'll be posting it up here for the world to see. Thank you again. Y'all have a great evening.